Hi and welcome to the video. I'm Damon. This is Dame Over, the channel where I try not to get game over, and in the second installment of my Paladins builds, we're now looking at Torvald. Torvald is a frontline troop, which basically means he is a damage sponge, as you can see from the title in the video. His strengths lie in taking a lot of damage from the enemy team and drawing their fire so the rest of your team can attack them from the flanks. This guy is definitely one to use in the objective-based game types. He's excellent for standing on the point and just soaking up the damage waiting for support from the rest of the team. He can take a hell of a lot of damage, especially if you use his abilities in the right sort of order, but that means as a trade-off for this, his damage output is incredibly low. You won't be picking up many solo eliminations with Torvald, but if your team is supporting you in the right way, you can definitely keep your KD nice and high. Torvald, similarly to Skye, which you can see in my previous build, is very difficult to deal with. Unless he's being targeted specifically by several members of the enemy team, he will not go down very quickly. He's particularly good when he's paired with another frontline troop like Ruckus or Makoa because they can keep trading shields and absorbing even more damage. Having the rest of your team as flanking and DPS troops makes you pretty much unstoppable if you're trying to capture an objective. He can, however, be countered in several ways, but it's all kind of relying on him either being stunned and team shot or by people boosting the Wrecker stat with their cards after they die. So as long as you're being supported by your team in the right way, you can be pretty much unstoppable with Torvald. So let's look at his skills and look at the cards to complement them. I'll leave the screen up on his skills so you can see what each of them does at its base value so you can check them out in your own time rather than me explaining them all. So let's move on to the cards. The legendary card you're going to want to choose is Alternating Current, which boosts his recharge ability. It increases duration by 1.5 seconds. This is his most important ability as it's the one that will keep him alive the longest. Torvald's base health is 8,650 and then you account for the 5,000 with his shield when it's fully charged. Being able to charge this for as long as possible when you're under fire means that you'll be able to stay in the fight for so much longer than any of the other characters. So for the other 5 cards, as per last time, I'll leave them on the screen so you can see what they do. For the Damage Sponge build, you will need Vital Grasp with 4 points on it, Arcane Etching with 3 points on it, Glyph of Siphoning with 2 points on it, Hearth Warmer with 2 points on it, and Glyph of Health with 1 point on it. As you can see from the boosts to the abilities, all of these cards are focused on keeping his health and his shields as high as possible at all times. If you're in a dangerous situation and you need to use your Runic Blast, you gain a boost for your shield. And using the boost for your shield while using protection to help a teammate out is also a great way for you to get out of those tricky situations where you get massively outnumbered. It's really important to remember that recharge can be interrupted by something like Grumpy Bomb, which stuns you. And if you're in the middle of recharge and decide to attack, you then have to go through the full cooldown like you usually would if it went the whole way. Remember, Torvald is a distraction tool. He's there to soak up the damage so the rest of your team can do all the killing. I found it really fun actually to play as Torvald, especially when you end up using his ultimate, aptly named Hyper Beam, which has a massive knockback on enemies for 2.5 seconds. Do your best, however, not to pick on the one player on their team that has a jetpack. He's not the most exciting player to play as, that's true, but he has definitely upped my win-loss ratio by quite a lot. Your KD also may not go that high, but most of the games I played I ended up getting 1 to 4 deaths a game, which I think is pretty good considering I'd be getting 16 to 18 kills roughly. My top tip with Torvald... Alright, I didn't realise there was going to be that much alliteration. Okay, my top tip is to sit on the point. Watch the carnage unfold around you, knowing that the team, if they do focus on you, will have a really hard time of taking you down. If you think there's any way of improving on this build, then please let me know down in the comments below. And if you've had a good time, be sure to hit that like button as it helps the channel out. And if you're new around here, then hit the subscribe button too. Until next time, that's Dame Over. Peace.